I think we'll do a lot. We'll do a lot of Galaxie 500. Just because obviously the band never got there, and I think a lot of people are excited to hear that. And also we're playing as a trio. It's me and Britta and our drummer Roger. We've done those songs a lot, but we'll do some Luna songs, and we'll do some of the last two albums as well. But yeah, sometimes people are like, "Can you play this?" And this Luna song, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know, not really, not without Luna, maybe." Or the first time was in September of 2001, so it was right after 9/11.
Wow.
And we weren't even sure we would be able to get on a plane because things were so very strange at that time. But we did. We did like 7 shows in Brazil. We played Buenos Aires on a rainy Sunday night and I know the Argentine peso, is it a peso there? I think it is. Or dollar, whatever. Their currency had just collapsed, and it was I saw nothing. And I think this time I'm kind of making sure that at least it's like a show and then a day off and a show and a day off. So at least so like in Lima, we will arrive the day before, we'll play the show, and then I'm going to stay all the next day as well. Or maybe I'll stay longer if I could change my ticket. We'll see. Actually, then Britta and I went back to Brazil in about maybe, I don't know, 2012 or so 10 years later. And it seemed very different. Brazil under Lula, it just seemed like it just seemed better. I don't know. But he's still the same. And he's very much, he really takes charge, and it's like, this is what we're doing with it. Which is kind of nice in a way. It takes the pressure off you as an artist, because you can sit there and be like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And he's just like this, and he has it all mapped out in his head. I don't know. He's some kind of a genius. He's a fantastic musician and a genius arranger. When he puts his mind to it, he really is kind of amazing. But you do sort of have to do it his way. We recorded it quickly, just like like with Galaxie 500. Those records were done so quickly. The first album in 3 days. The second one, I don't know, 10 days, but the days were like 5 hours each. So I know when I first heard Lou Reed, because my older brother had a copy of Transformer, that Lou Reed album, and then so that was when we were living. That was when I was living in Australia as a child. So I must have heard that when I was 12 or 13. Then I came to New York and started hearing about other, investigating Lou Reed and hearing, oh, there's this other band, the Velvet Underground. But back then, in the late 70s, the only Velvet Underground record you could find a copy of Loaded, and you could find Live 1969. And that's the one I bought, and that's my favorite Velvet's album. It's a double album, and
the legs in the
yes, with the legs, yeah, and then Live, and it's such a revelation. That record, I think for a lot of people, I think I've heard Patti Smith say this too, that it's their favorite Velvet's thing, because at that point John Cale has left, and they've just become such a good live band. So anyway, I used to play that record a lot. Then I got the Banana album, but you couldn't find the second or third album. That's the difference between maybe I'm sounding like making myself sound old now, but that's what it was like back then. We had to go seek things out.
Go to the record store.
and it tells you that the Velvet Underground records were out of print. So that it's kind of that was the world. And now there's 5 different versions of each album and deluxe with all these mixes. I guess the Feelies, that was another band in high school that was a big influence on me. But the Feelies, they also drew from the Velvet Underground, clearly. But
And you actually played with one of the Feelies in Lula.
Yes, yeah, with Stan Demesky, yeah. And though I left New Zealand at a young age, and I was living in New York, so in the late 70s and 80s, I was living in New York City. But every summer, well, maybe not every summer, but many summers, my family would go back to New Zealand. So I would spend a winter, it was winter down in New Zealand, summer in New York. I spend like 2 months there. So I remember buying the first single by The Clean right when it came out. I was in New Zealand when that came out. So I did hear that. I don't think they were an influence, but they were, I guess at the time we're all coming out of punk rock and new wave and trying to figure out where it's going to go next, I think. And a lot of bands maybe started looking at the past, looking at music from the 60s, the Velvet's 13th Floor Elevators, Big Star, stuff like that, and seeing if that could help show the way forward. Even working with Noah Baumbach, it's Noah comes in, he sits in the room with us but that was the first thing we did when we came out to Los Angeles. Britta and I were working on the score for his film Mistress America, and we had a little room in the back of in the backyard. We did a whole score, and then we were just like, no, this is no good. We don't like it. We don't like any of it. Because I think Noah had said, well, listen to this and listen to that. And anyway, we started making music. It was kind of like trying to do some like jazz thing. And Britta was doing it. And I was just like, I can't really do this. Is not in my wheelhouse. I don't really know how to do this. So we threw away that whole score. We started again. He'd put some music in there, like orchestral maneuvers in the dark and things. And then we went in like a different direction that made it more like 80s early synth bands, New Order, OMD, stuff like that. And that was actually really fun. But it's not sounds I would have go for on my own. But I really like the music that we came up with for that. And and he does too. But yeah, he'd just sit there right next to us, and he's not a musician, so he didn't really have musical ideas, but he's like, well, what can we do here? What can we do there? We worked very hard on it. And I think for him it was nice because we are prepared to take criticism. For us, it's okay if he's like, no, this isn't working. We understand. I guess that's the first thing you learn when you're writing music for film. You might write a lovely piece of music, but that doesn't mean it fits in that scene, so, and you don't know till you put the two together how they're going to work together.
You don't have enough.
Yeah, you're not the boss, but of course other film composers, I'm sure, like deliver the music and say, this is it. And
maybe John Williams
or Ennio Morricone would say, like, do not send me anything to listen to. I will not listen. Some bands have come back even bigger than they were before, like I think Stereolab and Slow Dive. A lot of all the shoegaze stuff that at the time none of those bands really couldn't tour America. Nobody gave a shit, but now they came back really big. I don't know. Maybe it's just that the music's good, hopefully. Or I think for Galaxie 500, I think there's something in those songs that appeals to teenagers. I don't know. To sad teenagers. I don't know. There's angst in the music. There's something kind of heavy in it. It's not like goth, like Robert Smith depressing, although they like that too. But and I don't know, maybe that's like how for me I like listening to the Velvets or T-Rex or something. I'd be like, this record still sounds modern, and those do still sound modern. The Galaxie 500 records have aged better than maybe some grunge records have. It's just like, this sounds like so 1992 or something like that. Well, we still play Luna shows, but we're scattered all over the country. So I don't think I'll make another Luna record. Maybe a Dean and Britta record is what we're talking about.